When I first began this challenge, I honestly had no idea what to expect. But pretty quickly, it turned into one of the most difficult things I've ever done, and took me places I never expected to go.
My name's Alex, and I'm attempting to set the world record for fastest reading of the Bible. Before we get started, this is one of a bunch of different challenges I've done, and a lot more are coming out soon, so subscribe to my channel to stay tuned and follow me on Instagram at TheShandry. I want to make sure this video stays within a reasonable length, so I'll be going pretty quickly through this part, and then I'll be dropping another video a few days after this one, going into my reasons for doing this, answering any questions you guys leave in the comments, and talking about what I learned and my overall experience from this challenge. Now here are a few quick things before I start. The video you're watching right now is just the main video capturing my experience and what happens during this challenge. But to prove them actually doing all this, I'll be live streaming the entire thing, and then I'll make those live streams public along with this video. And if for some reason those interest you, you can click on the link somewhere over here or somewhere else on the screen and go ahead and watch them. The current world record was completed by 140 people from Danville Faith Community Church a few years ago, and the record stands at 76 hours. Before that, the record stood for quite a while and was 113 hours to read the Bible. I did a few trials, and hopefully I'll be able to read between 200 to 250 words an hour, which would have me finish between 52.5 hours and 65 hours if I was just reading continuously. But of course I'll have some breaks in there for food, if I need to sleep and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll still be able to beat the 76 hours, but we'll see. I tried to find if anyone has attempted this by themselves before, and I could only find 2 people. One was a kid on YouTube who I think gave up about 5 hours in and just couldn't do it. And another was a middle-aged man who, after getting to the book of Isaiah and about 40 hours in, had to call paramedics because he just stopped doing so hot, I guess. But I think I have a much safer plan than that, so hopefully I'm not gonna have to call paramedics or anything. The truth is, I don't have a super firm plan that I'm planning to stick to really strictly right now. I'm just gonna read until I need sleep, and then once I need sleep, I'm planning to sleep for about 4 hours and then get up and go back into it. I'm gonna be reading the King James Version of the Bible because that's what the current world record attempt used. But unfortunately that's going to make this a lot more difficult because not only is it a lot longer, it also uses really antiquated language that is pretty difficult to read, especially out loud. Lastly, to give you guys an idea of how difficult this is going to be, the King James Version of the Bible is 784,000 words. That's like reading 10 novels. And in addition to that, I'm going to be reading out loud, which is going to tax my throat a lot for sure, and it's going to make this challenge much, much harder. That's all I have for now, so I'm going to go rest up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at the beginning of the challenge. So here's my setup. I got my Bible right here. I got like a little platform I can kind of move around so I don't have to stay in one place this whole time. I've got a webcam, my computer so I can see myself live streaming. I've got a bunch of food and some other things over here like ibuprofen if my head hurts, some clothes, 5-hour energies, a fridge stacked with frozen pre-made meals that can heat up quickly, and my signs back here. And lastly, we got this guy right here. Alright, starting right now. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
Then God created humans and animals and a whole bunch of other things. But humans kept messing up, so God sent a flood to destroy everyone except Noah and the animals.
A little insider tip, if you just build pretty much any boat, you'll be okay.
So Noah built an ark and was saved. Generations later, God came to a man named Abraham, and through him built a chosen people known as the Israelites. Then, through a series of unfortunate events, they came to Egypt and were enslaved until God used Moses to save them.
So I can tell already my biggest problem is going to be a sore throat. My throat's not super sore or anything, but I can definitely feel it getting sore as I keep reading. And I just finished, oh my goodness, crap. I thought that was at least 6%, but it's only 4.8% that I just finished. 38,000 words in just over 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Then God planned to bring the Israelites into the promised land, but they kept complaining about how much better things were back in Egypt. So God was like,
they are such babies. I am going to leave them in there until they can appreciate what it's like to have freedom.
So the Israelites roamed in the desert for 40 years, and God gave them all sorts of rules and commandments through their leader Moses, until finally bringing them out of the desert and into the promised land.
Okay, nutcases, get out of there.
And I just finished Deuteronomy, so that means I finished the first 5 books of the Bible. So I'm about 20% through. It's been almost 12 hours, and I'm going to be having my first meal. It's about 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. at night.
10:30 actually.
So I just took a little break and I looked at a list and I thought after reading all these big books at the beginning, at least I had like the 5 longest books out of the way. But I just looked up a list online and discovered I only have like 3 of the largest books out of the way. I don't have the largest book out of the way yet. I don't have like the 3rd largest, the 4th largest, the 5th largest out of the way. So I still have a lot to go.
So after 40 years of wandering, God finally brought the Israelites out of the desert, and they fought against the Philistines for control of the promised land. In this time, God gave the Israelites judges to rule over them in their fight against the Philistines. But the Israelites were like, we don't want judges, we want kings. So God gave the Israelites a really good-looking king. No, seriously, I mean like it goes out of its way to say how handsome this guy is. But then that dude started acting a little bit more like this dude, so God gave them this dude, who was King David. And let's just say King David did a lot of shenanigans.
Alright, it's 5:30, the sun's just risen again, and it's starting to get light out. I think I'm definitely falling behind, just because it's so difficult to read all this kind of King James Version, Old English type stuff. But I think I'm still on schedule to beat it, to beat the world record. The thing is, I feel like I'm reading extremely fast, but I'm just stumbling over so many of the words because it's so confusing that it gets really difficult. Like every verse I have to repeat at least a little bit, so I think it's just slowing me down. I'm definitely going to bed for a little bit at 10:30 p.m. tonight, and I need to be at page 1000 by then, and right now I'm at 571.
There were some good kings, and then there were some bad kings. Now, since Chronicles basically just repeats kings, I'll say that again. There were some good kings, and then there were some bad kings.
Back, and I have a new shirt. I'm about done with 2nd Chronicles, but I had to take a break because I'm just getting very tense, and this is not supposed to be a tense thing. I'm tired and I'm exhausted and everything, but I'm getting very tense because it's extremely difficult to read right now because everything's just kind of overlapping and I keep having to repeat things, so I feel like I'm going very fast, but I'm actually getting slower and slower and slower. I definitely do not like the books of Chronicles. I mean, it just says everything that Kings just said in a much more verbose way. It's like it takes everything that it just said 2 minutes ago, and it just, I don't know. So, I think I might have to go to sleep soonish. Well, I tried taking a nap, but it didn't work very well. So, I think I'm just gonna take some time to reflect, and I'm gonna try and hit it again, see if we can actually go for this.
Here, things took a turn for the worst. I could only read for about 30 seconds before it became pretty clear that my eyes just hurt too much and my throat was just too sore for me to make any more progress. I tried to sleep again, and while laying awake in bed, I realized my mind and body couldn't handle the mental and physical stress I had been putting them under. Especially not for another 42 hours straight.
So I took an extended break for about 5 hours, and I think I've quit, but figured I don't really have anything better to be doing right now, and I think I might still try and finish, but just finish past the record and on my own time.
This is when I officially gave up. 34 hours of sleep deprivation combined with 27 hours of non-stop reading and staring at one thing took my mind to pretty strange places. That night I laid awake in bed for a few hours and questioned everything. Why I started this challenge, why I started this channel, and so much more. Until finally, I fell asleep.
So here's the deal. It's around 11 a.m. on Thursday, about 49 hours or so after I started reading. And basically, yesterday I gave up. Like you saw, I tried to sleep for a little bit and then keep going. But basically what happened is, as I sat down and tried to read, I was reading for like 5 minutes and I couldn't even make it through half a page just because I was repeating myself so much. My mind was just like gone, and I guess I can be awake for longer than 32 hours, but my mind isn't really functioning after that. So this morning I woke up, I looked at all the charts I'd made, and I saw that I'd already read for like 250,000 words, and I just didn't really want to give up on all that. So here's the new plan. My voice is still fairly sore, so I think what I'm going to do is read silently today and tomorrow until I get up to the New Testament, and then Saturday I'm gonna go on live stream again, read the entire New Testament, and hopefully finish by Saturday night. So I'm probably not gonna record much for the rest of today, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Also, to save time, I'm not going to keep up the same descriptions of the Bible that I've been given. So, if you want to find out what happens, I guess you'll just have to go read it for yourself.
Alright, I'm just now hitting page 870, and that's halfway. Good morning, guys. It's early Friday morning, and I forgot that in the short time I quit, I told my parents that I would go hiking with them today. So today I'm gonna still be reading silently. I have about 12 hours, or probably a little bit more, like 400 pages or so of reading silently to do. And then on top of that, I'm gonna be doing a pretty difficult 10-mile hike with my parents. So my plan today is just to run up to the top of the mountain as quickly as possible and read there for quite a while, and then come down and read at the bottom for quite a while and just keep reading through the night. Let's get it.
So I just finished up the summit a little bit ago. I read for about 1.5 hours and now almost through Jeremiah. So I have a couple more 100 pages to read today. I'm gonna get down to the bottom, read immediately, and I'll probably be reading till late tonight. My plan is to get up to the New Testament today, and then tomorrow's the big day. I'm gonna finish on the New Testament, and it should be probably about 12 to 16 hours of reading.
It's 9 a.m. I'm getting started a little bit later than I wanted. I have just the New Testament left. It's about 400 pages, and I've been reading around a pace of 300 pages every 12 hours. I think I have probably 12 to 15 hours ahead of me, so I'll probably finish around 9 to 1 a.m. tonight. It's definitely been a journey. I went from thinking I was going to finish really quickly to giving up, to coming back at it, to giving up again, to finally coming up with a plan for how to finish it. And I was able to stick to that final plan, and here we are. Oh shoot. I'm something like 8 hours in of reading now, and I'm really starting to slow down. I'm about halfway through Acts, and I have absolutely no idea how I read for 27 hours at the beginning of this with almost no breaks. I've already probably taken more breaks than I took at the first part, reading the 27 hours.
I just finished dinner, and I just finished the book of Acts, and I'm right here on my list. So I'm about 91% of the way done, and I don't know if it's cool or terrifying, but I have about 70,000 words left. It's 11:39 p.m. I just arrived at Revelation, and I'm probably going to take another 40 or so minutes, but I'm very excited to go through this. I'm pretty excited to be done also.
Oh, this is absolutely crazy. I just finished, what, 16 hours of reading, I think, with very few breaks, like you guys can see if you check out the live stream. I think I'm probably just going to go to sleep right now, and I'll record something later for the end of this video. So, good night. Alright, it's Sunday. I finished late last night, like you guys saw, and honestly that feels pretty insane. I finished reading 784,000 words in the last couple days. Alright, here are the final stats. So from the beginning when I started reading to the end when I finally stopped, together that was about 111 hours. And obviously I didn't break the overall world record of 76 hours, but I did break the previous world record of 113 hours. And I don't know, maybe since it was one person, it's some sort of world record out there, but probably not. I'm still a little bit disappointed that I didn't break the overall world record of 76 hours, and it's something I'd love to do someday. So I decided that if by some miracle I ever get 10,000 subscribers, then I'm gonna get a few other people together and we're gonna go through non-stop reading and actually break the world record. Also, like I said at the beginning, in 3 or 4 days I'm gonna be dropping another video where I go into more detail about this video and answer any questions you guys leave in the comments. So if you're curious and want to know more about how this process was, be sure to let me know in the comments. Lastly, I just want to say thank you for watching. I have a bunch more content coming out soon, like I said, so if you enjoyed this video, then subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram to stay tuned.